I think we're good. I think we're finally back up. I apologize big time. Goodness, I really am sorry, guys. I don't know why this has been so. Well, I guess I do know why this has been so bad, but I didn't think it'd be this bad. Honestly, I thought I had most of it figured out. I thought I just had to figure out. I thought I had everything figured out, even how to get Pat on, get y'all to call in. What's up, Hakuna? How you doing? Thanks for coming through. This is gonna be the last time I try this. So what I basically try to do, I know how to do it good on Streamlabs. I got that figured out, but what I need to figure out is how I can get y'all to call in. And so what I was gonna do is a Zoom call, and then I can share the screen of that. I DM you on Twitter to link help you with your stream. Thank you, Hakuna. I appreciate that. I'll definitely be taking you up on that. God, I wish this wasn't such a headache, but it is what it is. We gotta power through. And as soon as I loaded up Zoom, everything crashed. Everything crashed. It said I didn't have a stable enough internet. Discord call. Okay, that could be the move. Oh, let's try that. Ryan or George, whoever is good to try this Discord call, or anyone, honestly. I don't know how that works. George, you good to help me with that? Discord call and screen capture. Okay, that's trial number 2. Let's try that. Let's try that out. Ryan's in the thing. Hey, let's go. Okay, now let's see if they can hear you.
I think I might have a lag.
Hey, Jordan, what's up, man?
How y'all doing? I don't know. Can you hear
Doing good,
yourselves
man.
in the thing?
I turned
Okay,
off
so
the stream because I didn't want to hear echo. Yeah.
True.
so I think there's a lag from you talking in the stream like a few seconds,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then because you said stuff and the stream was still going.
Okay, they can hear them. Oh, so this is how we do it. Oh, perfect. This is so much easier.
Yeah.
Oh my, I'm an idiot. Okay, I can get Pat
And also
involved.
make,
Yeah.
voice channel
Oh,
that's
Pat, let's go. Pat, I'm
private.
texting Pat.
All right, boys. Try not to get Jordan canceled in his first time letting us on.
That's the only goal, man. That is the only
Yeah.
goal. Just don't get
Yeah.
canceled. Oh my god, I'm so glad we can do this.
Hey, just
Yeah,
remember,
this is
you're
gonna be
gonna have
awesome.
to change permissions for only people that have
Yep.
the leader.
Yeah. So
Right. You
what I'm
should
gonna
get
You can do it all right here. You just need to
So
make
I'm
a
gonna
new
kick
voice.
Ed's right out because he ain't one of the team
Aw.
leaders. No.
Ooh.
I can't afford that $10 a month, Jordan. You're killing me.
Now you can also just make a voice channel for whenever you're on stream, and if
Yeah.
we want to call in and you approve, you just give us permission to join it.
What I would do is so you can either move people in, you can have like a waiting room and an individual voice channel for you, or you can create a role and assign people that have paid for like the $10 service and give them like exclusive access to a voice channel, and you can just sit in there during the live stream.
Yeah.
So I make a new one of these voice channels and then change the permissions.
And then, you change the permissions to only
yeah.
allow people that have paid for the.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I'll figure that out tomorrow. I'm gonna get Pat in here though.
Yeah.
All right.
just the
All right,
audio.
we'll hop off, and Pat jumps on.
All right. Good luck, Jordan.
Good luck,
Bye.
Jordan.
Thank
got
you guys
this.
so much for doing this. Thanks for helping me out. That was cool.
Gotcha.
Peace out, guys.
Peace.
All right, y'all. I keep forgetting that I'm still live. But yes, y'all were hearing me talk with my Texans Thoughts team members. Oh, but we got the special guest of the evening, the man of the hour. How you doing, Pat?
Good, man. How are you?
Hey, there's that beautiful voice. I'm pretty stressed out. This past hour has been a mess, but it seems like I finally figured everything out, and we've got the man, the myth, the legend, Pat Storm in the building. Let's talk about the Texans. Now, I've mentioned before, but Pat was on the Texans Unfiltered podcast last night, and he laid it all out for us. But if you missed it, Pat, tell us a little bit about this Deshaun situation and the, what the most likely route of a potential trade would be.
So, most likely route right now is obviously it's not tomorrow. It's not this week. It's going to be after June 1st. And of course, that's all still depending on how this legal situation unfolds. And then, of course, how the league plans to proceed with their discipline. Um, it's one thing when you look at a case like Antonio Brown, where he had some pending legal issues, bounced around from team to team, ended up in Tampa Bay, was able to play, won a Super Bowl, with an ongoing investigation still. And that's with one case. Now that case has been settled. He's re-signed, and he's going on about his business. But when you look at Deshaun's and there's 22. It obviously is going to carry a lot more weight, right? And so I have a feeling this is going to drag out for a long time. I saw some thoughts maybe from Florio today saying that everything being quiet, that maybe the two sides are pushing to get settled. That's definitely not the case. As I learned today, that Deshaun is not looking to settle. He's still standing his ground that he feels what he did. How things unfolded were consensual, and that some of these girls are out for money, and obviously Busby is going to stand his ground and try to defend his clients to the best of his ability to be victorious. So it's going to be a long process. So this is not something that's going to be over tomorrow. It's not going to be open, it's not going to be over tomorrow. It's not going to be over Friday or even next week. It's going to be a while. So the most likely route is post June 1st. Yep. And that's the way any of the teams that are looking at him want to go to. They did not want to acquire him prior to the draft, obviously because they want to be able to draft their guys and then still get Deshaun. And so I think it's, we're looking at leading up into the season. I say getting closer to August, September is when we're going to be seeing any type of movement if the legal stuff clears up.
September, damn. Okay, so I kind of misunderstood the situation, but that sounds like, it's not ideal, but nothing about this situation, nothing about this past season, this past off season has really been ideal. So I guess they would start to talk about it post June 1 and potentially, like you said, September. And so they wouldn't agree would they agree to the trade then without knowing, like, for example, the Texans, let's say it's the Dolphins, it could be a different team, but let's say it's the Texans and Dolphins talking. Would they agree to a trade then and say, okay, it's 2022 pick, 2023 pick, and like, would they agree to the draft capital then, or would they get it done closer to the draft when the Texans say they know what the picks are going to convey at, what number Miami's going to have, what number Carolina, Denver, or whoever else that they're talking to is going to have? Do you know the timing on that?
No, so like if he's going to be traded in, say, July or August, it's just going to be with the year stamped on it, and then they just acquire wherever the team, wherever the pick falls. Now they could always do. I'm sure they could work out some, if like a second round pick that may be a conditional, depending on playing time and stuff like that. If he ends up playing a lot for his new team, that it turns into a first round pick, an additional first round pick or what have you. So they could always work out language like that. But as far as, once the trade's agreed upon and the paperwork submitted to the league, it's done and set. You don't get to stipulate depending. It's not like the NBA, I guess, when they have, and I'm not too great with NBA, but I guess they have protected picks. So they, it's not something like that where a team can say, okay, well, you only get this pick if it falls in this range type of thing. That's not how the NFL works. So.
Okay. My thoughts was kind of, in terms of an official sense, I definitely know what you're saying. But let's say the Texans, let's say Nick Casserole, basically they have like a handshake deal at the beginning of the season, at June 1, at September, whatever. And actually, I guess that wouldn't work now that I'm thinking about it.
So, if you're saying that the Texans continue to hold on to him and then maybe closer to the trade deadline,
yeah,
and that's definitely possible. So, the Texans could hold on to him if he does, get some sort of suspension from the league, or if he changes his mind and decides to not show up if he's not traded. Houston could really sit back and just be like, all right, we're going to see where we can kind of get a general idea of where we think your picks are going to fall. And then before we make anything official, we revisit what is exactly exchanging hands. Then, that's definitely possible. But I think that if they're going to do something, it's going to get done, and they're going to get it over with. Deshaun was obviously hoping to get this done before the draft. And then the legal stuff creeped in, and so that's kind of obviously put the brakes on a lot of things for now. And so, and again, the teams looking at Deshaun did not want to acquire him until after June 1st. And a lot of it has to do with the salary cap right now too.
Yeah.
A lot of teams are tight. Like, for example, like I mentioned last night, Miami can't even, if they draft using every single pick that they have now, they have to make cuts in order to be able to sign these guys, given the amount of money that needs to be set aside per the CBA.
Mm-hmm.
So they still have some maneuvering to do. So if they were to, acquire Deshaun during the draft, there's a little maneuvering they have to do there. It wouldn't be as much given the fact that they've traded away draft capital and they're not having to sign those guys. But they're still in a really tight spot right now too. So, and then it would be worse for Houston because it would drop them down to about, I think it was about $4.5 million in cap space. And I know Nick is not wanting to go into the season with just that and minus whatever it is that he has to sign his rookie class with. So,
Right.
There's a lot of moving parts that need to happen in order for this trade to go down.
Yeah.
So we haven't even seen the beginning of it yet, honestly.
Oh man, Jesus Christ! I know I'm probably with the majority in saying that. Man, I just want this shit over and done with. I kind of don't even care too much about the compensation anymore. 3 first round, two first rounds, whatever. One less, one more, a second round pick. Like, obviously, at the end of the day, I do care, but it's been such a headache. It's been dragged out for so long that, man, I just want this to be over with. I just want to get to the season, know what players I'm gonna have that are gonna play and suit up for us, and just get on with it and watch some football. Because, man, this has been one of the worst off seasons ever. It's been horrible.
I
But
agree.
yeah, definitely. So I hear what you're saying. It doesn't. So Pat's saying that, if you got a bet on a Deshaun Watson trade happening, you're gonna lose your money happening before the draft. Sorry, I should say. But next season, that could be when it happens, and we'll have to go from there, man. It seems like this just keeps getting pushed back. It's kind of like with all these it kind of just reminds me of the situations of like the COVID restrictions. They're like, oh yeah, lockdown will be done in 2 weeks. Oh, okay, in 4 weeks. Okay, in a month, in 2 months, and it's just never done. But hopefully we can get an end in sight relatively soon. Man, are you excited for the draft this week, Pat?
I'm excited to see how this first round unfolds.
Mm-hmm.
Given all the speculation of where guys like Mac Jones are going to go and Justin Fields, stuff like that. I think.
Do you think? Do you think the David Mulugeta effect is real on Justin Fields, or are there other factors?
I don't agree with that, and I mentioned that last night, and we talked about it briefly. And I feel like teams can't be afraid to deal with an agent because of one player.
Me too.
Right? Because then you run into a situation where, especially with the crop of talent that he has. Oh, sorry, I'm dealing with a tired 2-year-old right now.
No worries.
But the crop of talent that guy represents, and his agency as a whole, they've got some really big talent over there, and if teams are afraid to deal with him as a result of this, then that leads to some really hard decisions down the line when it comes to signing free agents and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a battle GMs are willing to take on, I think something else is going on with Justin, and I have a feeling it's the medical stuff. I get it. And, people think that these teams aren't, that they're not vindictive and that they don't have their ways of dealing with stuff to try to, make somebody slide down the board, especially a guy that has the potential like Justin Fields. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I took one of my AirPods out. So, you got teams like New England and the Bears sitting down there at 15 and 20 and those in that range that would absolutely love to see him tumble down the board and not have to give up draft capital to be able to move up to go get him. And so there's a lot of backdoor dealings and a lot of shady stuff that goes on around the NFL. These guys are very tactical in how they perform. Case in point is, and I know for an example, Jadeveon Clowney, when he was here, you heard all these stories about him being lazy and missing camp or missing practice, and sitting out of practice on his own accord. No, Jadeveon had instances where he got told, hey, go ahead and take the day off. And then later that day or the next day, there was a story leaked to the media of Jadeveon's work ethic and this and that. So it's a cutthroat business, man. And so this is the type of stuff that happens leading up to the draft for those mid to late round picks that they try to do everything they can to maximize their value. And, hopefully they don't get exposed.
Man,
I still firmly believe that there was a team involved in the Laramie Tunsil ordeal the day he got drafted, when he got drafted with that video getting leaked out.
Oh, probably. Yeah, I think I saw an article written about it just today. I forget. I didn't read the full thing, but it did spawn something in my mind saying that, it's lying season. That's what NFL draft season also is. It's lying season. People want the prospects to fall to them, whether it's a tackle like Tunsil, whether it's a quarterback like Fields. And like you said, it's like it's a cutthroat league. I wouldn't say dirty, but these owners, these GMs, whoever, they're going to want to do whatever they can to improve their multi-billion-dollar business. And some of them are willing to pull more strings than others. But it's definitely a crazy thought. And I didn't think like you said, it happens with draft prospects all the time, but to think and imagine that it happens with guys who were already in the league and guys who were already on your team. That is an investment that you've already made into a player, into the number one draft pick in Jadeveon Clowney, like you mentioned, that they're just going to kind of mess with his image. Like that to me is mind blowing that they would do that.
Yeah. It's wild, man. Some of the stories you hear and talking with these guys and, a lot of it, unfortunately, they don't want out there, but you look at things differently when you hear these stories. And obviously I'm only hearing one side of the story most of the time. So, I definitely take things with a grain of salt, but it's, it gives you a different perspective on it for sure.
All right. Give me 1 second to put that into the chat. Okay. Man, that is wild to think. Yeah, I definitely think that. I guess we started this conversation by talking about Justin Fields and his fall. There's a lot of things that are against him, like you said, the medicals. People are definitely concerned that there's never been a good quarterback out of Ohio State. A lot of things going against him. I still personally think that the 49ers will take him. I know all the smoke is around Mac Jones and even Trey Lance. But I just think, man, come on. There's no way it's Mac Jones. There's just no way. Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch are not stupid people. I can see Trey Lance for sure because he has as high of a ceiling as any quarterback in this class. But I just think they're too smart. And Justin Fields is the guy. Justin Fields is just as talented as Trevor Lawrence, in my opinion. So I think that's where he's going to end up going, honestly. I think...
Yeah.
Like you said, there's a lot of teams, maybe it's the Patriots, maybe it's the Bears, maybe it's Washington football team that are trying to get him to fall, but it only works if your GM, your head coach, whatever, are willing to listen to that and willing to listen to the Twitter reports and stuff like that. And I feel like guys like Kyle Shanahan are able to block out the noise and just kind of focus on their own evaluation of the player. We think Justin Fields is the best quarterback, great. We think Trey Lance is the best quarterback, great. We think it's Mac Jones, that's what they'll do. And so I think Fields is going to be the option. But
yeah, and to touch on that, it's funny. I listened to, and I'm sure a few people have heard it, but Kyle Shanahan did an interview and was talking about his scheme. And, he mentioned about a few years ago how they had the number one rushing offense and, they had the ability to run the ball because people were afraid of a quarterback. And then he said, he touched on the idea of, if they're afraid of your running game, they're going to key on the running game, which opens up your passing game. If they're going to key on your passing game, it opens up your running game. But he said a lot of times in the past, it's been 10 on 11 because you've got a pocket passing quarterback. So defenses aren't worried about that. Because if you bring in a quarterback that's able to run the ball, he goes, now you're playing 11 on 11 football, and it gives you the advantage on the offense. And so to me, that doesn't speak to his idea of being in on a guy like Mac Jones.
Yep.
That leads me to think that they're eyeing Justin Fields, and I truly think that that's going to be the pick. I've been trying to pluck that information out of people all week, and talking with people, and it just nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Jeez.
It's crazy.
They've been doing well to keep it quiet, and I think other teams their mouths have been wide open. But yeah, like what you're saying, I love what you brought up there. People are too caught up on what the quote unquote typical Kyle Shanahan quarterback has been in the past. But this is a league where you have to adapt or you're gonna die. And so Kyle Shanahan has dealt with Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's a great quarterback for sure, but he doesn't have that mobility.
Look what he did with Matt Schaub. Look what he did with Matt Schaub when he was here.
Yeah.
Like. Matt Schaub was a viable quarterback with him here, and I get it. There was a few other coaches involved in that, but you could definitely tell that Kyle had an impact on Matt Schaub. And then again, like you said, he went to Atlanta, and Matt Ryan was lighting it up, and they made the Super Bowl run. And he didn't call plays great down the stretch of that game, but getting there is half the battle. So definitely. I think it speaks to his ability, and he comes from a bloodline of very talented and very smart offensive-minded people, and so I think he'll do okay with getting one of these young kids in there and building around that team. I mean, their defense is already pretty good. They got to go out there and make the offense that much better.
Oh yeah, there's no question about his abilities as a coach. Any three of those guys, if it ends up being Mac Jones, which again I don't think it will be, but if it ends up being Mac Jones, he's put into the best situation of any of these quarterbacks, in a better situation than Jacksonville, in a better situation than New York, even a better one for guys like Sam Darnold in Carolina, or Drew Lock / Teddy Bridgewater in Denver, right? San Fran is the best case scenario, because remember, they're not supposed to be at 3. They're supposed to be at 12.
I don't know. I think Sam being out there with Joe Brady is going to be huge, man. I'm really excited to see how that unfolds.
We'll see. We'll see. Joe Brady, another year in his belt, if he can improve. I don't know, Sam.
That excites me, though, man.
Yeah.
I want to root for the kid and hope he does well.
Sam or Joe? Or both?
Both.
Yeah. I hear you. Okay, I gotta get out of here, but I'm gonna ask you one more question because you dropped a little nugget for us, and people I've been seeing in the stream want to hear you elaborate on us. But you've been talking about Jimmy G not being on the Niners no more, being on a different team, and his old team, the Patriots. And what's your kind of take on that? What have you been hearing?
So, someone had mentioned that the Patriots are working with the 49ers are giving him the ability to, and his people the ability to communicate with other teams to rework his contract, to help facilitate a trade, because his money is outrageous. I think it's like $23 million next year and 26 the year after. So
Jimmy G.
And the thing is, like, this year, I think the 49ers can trade him wherever they want. Next year, being that it's the last year of his contract, he has a no trade clause just for the last year. So if the Niners want to get it done, they definitely want to get it done this year. Especially too, because he's only 30 years old, and they can acquire some, draft capital to just help build their team. and it's definitely not. I don't think it's going to be a first round pick. What he was traded to San Francisco for.
Yeah.
I could see it being, a third or a fourth, and a fourth and like a six or something like that. But yeah, so my understanding is that his agent, his representation, and the Patriots are working on a revised contract to help facilitate the trade. And it may not happen in the next few days, but something like that is apparently in the works. So we'll just kind of see how that goes.
That's interesting. So if they are willing to trade Jimmy G, that makes it point even more to Justin Fields, in my opinion, because we talked about it. We ruled out Mac Jones. Then you'd look at Trey Lance, and everyone's saying with Trey Lance, and I agree with it, is you gotta let him sit. And so a lot of people thought that Trey Lance could be the pick because of the 49ers comments that, oh, Jimmy G's our quarterback. He's not going anywhere. We're not trading him. But these trade talks are real. It happens. You got to get someone who's ready. You don't want to just throw Trey Lance to the fire. And so another reason, I think, is Justin Fields at 3.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. All signs are kind of pointing to that. So.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you, Pat, for coming on. Will you be joining us for a little bit in these next few days? Get your thoughts on the picks and how the draft's going. You think that'd be good?
I'm gonna try, man. We're super heavy with baseball right now.
Right.
Noah's got tryouts for All-Stars this weekend, so we've been 2 to 3 hours every day out in the backyard or at the park practicing. So it's
that's awesome, man.
I don't know. We'll see.
He's got an arm. I'm seeing it. I saw it on Twitter. Did I lose you? Okay, I think we're good.
Still there?
Okay, there we go. It came back now. Perfect. Okay, yeah. So happy for you on that one, but we'll see. Even if good now. Ah, shit. Okay, well, hopefully Pat can join back, but if not, that was Patrick Storm. Y'all know where to find him. If you're not following him on Twitter already, do so. What you doing with your life? But that's gonna do it for the stream. I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope y'all come back tomorrow. I think it's 5:00 or maybe 4:00 because the draft starts at either 7 p.m. Eastern or 8 p.m. Eastern. Whenever the draft starts, that's when I'll be live. So come back here, be live Thursday, be live Friday, be live Saturday to talk about all the damn picks that happen, every single one of them, Texans related and non-Texans related. We're gonna get to clown teams for making bad picks. 8 p.m. Eastern, so it's 5 p.m. Pacific. Oh, sorry, that's for me. So 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for y'all. There we go. Bad with time zones as well. Bad with technologies. Appreciate everyone for being patient with the technical issues. We got it all good. We got it all figured out now. We even got ways to get y'all to call into the stream. If you join the Texans Thoughts team, if you become a team leader, 2 tiers now, team member, you get a whole bunch of shit. Team leader, you get everything in there, exclusive Discord, exclusive videos, but you also get the chance to call in and talk about whatever you think. It's going to be here for the draft. It's going to be here all throughout the offseason and during the season. Y'all are going to get to call into the stream, react to the game, rant, talk about whatever the hell you want. So that's definitely something that will be interesting. The link should be in the description. If that doesn't work, if there's not a join button beside the subscribe button, I will get you a link to that right now. Give me 1 second. There we go. Copied the link, putting it in the chat. And then once you join the team, head on over to the community tab. It'll be on my channel. If you click my channel name, then you'll see at the top is videos, playlists, all that good stuff. And one of them will be community. You go to that community tab, and the link to the Discord will be right there. I'm putting a new one in there that does not expire, never expire. Maximum usages. New link to Discord. If anyone wants to join, here it is. There you go. You'll see it if you remember. All channel members. There you go. All right. How do I leave this voice channel on Discord? I don't know, man. I don't know. YOLO. Whatever. All right, we still got 50 people in here. Thank you guys for coming through. Very much do appreciate it. I hope y'all like the new stream setup. Now that we've got it all good, I'm going to try and make the audio, not the audio, the visual less laggy. Shout out to, who just donated? Cyanide for the $3. Sorry I missed it. Earlier I was talking to the man himself, Pat Storm, but thank you for the $3. I hope you enjoyed the new animations as well. But all right, that's going to do it. Check out the draft guide I made as well. I just put it in the chat later. Alpha's here now. Alpha, you missed it. You missed my technical difficulties, probably for the best. But yeah, I'm sorry this is the end of the stream. But we'll be back tomorrow. Don't worry, I ain't going long. But now I gotta go make dinner and then I gotta go finish my damn final. It's gonna go bad. But we gonna power through. Alright. How do I end the stream? Oh Lord, how do I end the stream? Alright. Peace out, y'all. Take care, everyone. And remember, don't think I forgot. And remember, the film don't lie.